Hey everyone, welcome back to Soap Drama Central, your ultimate spot for all things the bold and the beautiful. If you're obsessed with the drama, the betrayals, the steamy love triangles, or should I say love quads, then buckle up because today we're diving deep into one of the juiciest storylines heating up in 2026. Fans are losing their minds, asking the million-dollar question: who's going to cheat first? Electra Forrester with RJ Forrester or Will Spencer with Dylan? This new generation love quad is about to explode, and I'm breaking it all down with spoilers, predictions, character deep dives, and why this could be the most addictive mess we've seen since Hope's endless triangles. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on B&B's wildest twists. Let's jump right in. To truly appreciate the chaos brewing in this 2026 love quad on The Bold and the Beautiful, we need to rewind and understand how we got here. Soap operas like B&B thrive on layered histories, family ties, and simmering tensions that build over episodes, seasons, and even decades. This isn't just a random fling fest. It's a carefully crafted web of relationships that echoes the show's iconic past while ushering in a fresh era with younger characters. Let's start by unpacking the origins of this quad, which didn't materialize overnight, but evolved from a series of heartfelt moments, chance encounters, and classic soap setups designed to keep viewers hooked. It all began with Will Spencer, the charming and compassionate son of the notorious Bill Spencer and Katie Logan. Played by the rising star Crew Morrow, Will has been portrayed as a modern-day hero with a softer edge than his father's ruthless business persona. Remember, Bill Spencer, often called Dollar Bill, has a storied history of affairs, manipulations, and power plays that have defined B&B for years. Will, however, seems determined to carve his own path, blending his Spencer grit with a genuine kindness that's rare in the cutthroat world of Los Angeles fashion and intrigue. The inciting incident for this quad was a poignant discovery: Will stumbling upon Dylan, portrayed by the talented Sydney Bullock, living in her car. This moment was pure soap gold, a classic damsel in distress trope flipped with modern relevance, highlighting issues like homelessness and vulnerability in a glamorous setting. Dylan, a newcomer to the Forrester Creations orbit, isn't your typical villainess or ingenue. She's a complex character with a backstory that's slowly unfolding. From what we've seen in recent episodes, Dylan comes from a troubled past, perhaps involving family estrangement or financial hardship, which makes her gratitude toward Will all the more authentic and potentially dangerous. Will, being the kind-hearted Spencer he is, couldn't turn a blind eye. He offered her a place to stay, igniting that immediate proximity alert that soap writers love to exploit. Living under the same roof? That's a recipe for stolen glances, late-night conversations, and unintended emotional bonds. But it doesn't stop there. Spoilers from outlets like Celeb Dirty Laundry and Soap Hub tease that Dylan is gearing up for a job at Forrester Creations, the iconic fashion empire that's been the heart of B&B since its premiere in 1987. Imagine the possibilities. Steffi Forrester, played by Jacqueline McInnes Wood, might hire her as a favor to Electra or simply to give Dylan a fresh start. This means Dylan will be embedded in the daily grind of the Forrester world: late-night sketching designs, collaborative coffee runs, accidental crushes in the bustling hallways. It's the perfect storm for romantic tension. Now, Dylan maintains a cool facade, insisting she's no threat to Will and Electra's blossoming relationship. She's all smiles, expressing gratitude and respecting boundaries. Phrases like, "I'm just here to rebuild my life," and "I wouldn't dream of coming between you two," have been her go-to lines in recent scenes. But let's be honest, in the world of B&B, such assurances are often red flags waving in the wind. Soap operas are built on subtext, and Dylan's lingering looks at Will suggest deeper feelings bubbling beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Electra Forrester, brought to life by the captivating Linnea Grace, is starting to feel those nagging suspicions creep in. Electra isn't a pushover. She's a Forrester through and through, with the family's signature blend of elegance, determination, and a touch of vulnerability. As Eric Forrester's great niece, stemming from his brother John's lineage via Ivy's side, Electra carries the weight of the Forrester legacy without the direct blood ties that complicate other relationships. Her paranoia isn't unfounded. We've seen hints in episodes where she catches Will and Dylan sharing a laugh that's a tad too prolonged or a quiet moment that feels too intimate. In B&B's universe, suspicion is the spark that ignites the infidelity fuse, leading to misunderstandings, confrontations, and ultimately explosive drama. Electra's growing paranoia is ramping up at a breakneck pace, and it's fascinating to watch how the writers are layering this psychological tension. Every interaction between Will and Dylan sends her mind into overdrive, imagining worst-case scenarios that play out in her internal monologues or confided whispers to friends. Recent episodes have shown Electra opening up about her doubts, perhaps to a confidant like Hope Logan, or even Steffi, who knows a thing or two about jealousy from her own storied past. She might subtly confront Will, probing with questions like, "What's really going on with Dylan?" only for him to brush it off as overreaction. This is a classic B&B setup: the under-mistered partner, the building resentment, and the inevitable push toward a breaking point. Enter R.J. Forrester, the charismatic returnee portrayed by Brian Nicoletti, who stepped into the role after Joshua Hossman's departure, bringing a fresh energy to the character. From their very first scenes together, the chemistry between RJ and Electra was palpable, electric even. Who could forget that necklace moment? RJ, with his smooth charm, quips about keeping Electra's heart safe as he gently removes it from her neck. It's not just flirtatious banter, it's blatant foreshadowing. The writers are meticulously laying the groundwork for RJ and Electra to evolve into a full-blown power couple, but without hurdles. Importantly, Electra and RJ share the Forrester name but aren't blood-related. Electra's ties come through the extended family branch, avoiding any ick factor that B&B has occasionally navigated in its complex family trees. With RJ likely pursuing her aggressively, perhaps seeing her as the perfect match to solidify his place in the Forrester dynasty, the temptation becomes all too real. Picture this scenario straight out of Soap Playbook. Electra witnesses something seemingly compromising. Maybe she walks in on Will offering Dylan a comforting hug after a rough day at work, or they appear too cozy during a late-night design session. Overwhelmed by jealousy, Electra doesn't wait for explanations. She storms out, heartbroken, and finds solace in RJ's waiting arms. What starts as comfort escalates into an impulsive kiss, or more. The sheets tangle, passions ignite, and regrets flood in later when she discovers it was all innocent. Or was it? This is peak soap drama, the misunderstanding-fueled cheat that shatters trusts and realigns alliances. Electra could very well be the first to cross that infidelity line, driven by fear, insecurity, and the magnetic pull of RJ's charm. The fallout would be massive. Will's trust obliterated, RJ emerging as the smug savior, and Dylan positioned as the innocent bystander who might capitalize on the chaos. But let's delve deeper into why Electra might crack first. Her character arc has emphasized her outsider status within the Forrester clan. She's eager to prove herself, and romantic stability with Will represents security. Yet the Spencer-Forrester rivalry, echoing the long-standing feud between Bill and Ridge, adds external pressure. Electra's suspicions aren't just personal, they're amplified by family loyalties and the fashion industry's high stakes. But hold up, don't dismiss Will as the potential first cheater in this quad. The Spencer lineage is infamous for their wavering loyalties when temptation strikes. Bill Spencer, the patriarch, is the undisputed king of affairs, having entangled himself with Brooke, Katie, and countless others over the years. Liam Spencer, Will's half-brother, is the ultimate flip-flopper, bouncing between Hope and Steffi in one of B&B's most enduring triangles. Will might represent a newer, more evolved generation, but as the saying goes, blood runs thick, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Dylan is right there in his orbit, vulnerable, grateful, and undeniably developing feelings that transcend mere friendship. Living under the same roof creates constant opportunities for intimacy, shared meals, vulnerable confessions, and those quiet evenings where barriers dissolve. Add in their potential collaboration at Forrester Creations, and it's a recipe for disaster. Will could surrender to temptation during a particularly vulnerable moment, perhaps after a heated argument with Electra over her escalating jealousy. One late-night talk evolves into emotional comfort, comfort morphs into a lingering touch, and before you know it, a kiss ignites a full-blown cheating scandal. This scenario positions Will as the betrayer, echoing his father's playbook and adding layers to his character development. The quad would then detonate spectacularly, Electra devastated and turning to RJ for real this time, RJ swooping in with Forrester flair